coming
I didn't
up.
call to disrespect you, but one thing I did want to say, I'm not taking it from you. You can say it as much as you like. But what I wanted to say was, I can tell that you have a lot of anger towards women. I think probably a woman, broke your heart. I think you had a lot of trouble with your
Don't
mother.
go breaking my heart. I won't break
you have
your
a
heart.
lot of problems with women for that reason.
Right. You're like chattering like a woman and just making up stuff along the way. And you think in your mind, you think it's true. And you need to forgive your mother so you could overcome that emotional mind and become logical again, man. You're making up stuff and you go on and on about it as though it's true.
Okay. So what I wanted to say was, through hearing you and I saw how damaged you were, it's like you haven't forgiven, and I saw what that done to a person. So I said, look, I realized that there were people in my life that I was angry at, and that will eat you up inside. I saw an 80-year-old unmarried man sitting there complaining about women day after day on television, and I found that really sad, and I could saw that.
Bye, Ryan. Bye. Ryan sounds like a heifer. Lord have mercy.
Hello, Jesse.
Hello, Ryan.
So I wanted to address the Juneteenth situation that you had brought up.
Yes, sir.
Well, you got a lot of things wrong about the holiday, but I won't jump right into that.
What did I have wrong about it?
Well, you said that, that whites should be thanked because, they fought for, slaves to be freed, and they should be thanked for that because there was no black people fighting for freedom of the slaves. So, the whites should be thanked.
Did you
right?
celebrate Juneteenth?
I did, yeah.
And did you grow up celebrating that as a kid? Were you celebrating then too?
No, I think it's mostly Texas. Those were when Texas blacks were freed. So me being from Virginia.
So when you were growing up, did you celebrate Juneteenth?
No, when I found out about Juneteenth,
how did you find out?
A few years ago.
How?
I found out about it online a few years ago.
Online. And
so I've been celebrating it since there. But what I wanted to say, just really quickly, if I may, if someone steals your car and gives it back, you don't say, "Listen, thank you so much for returning my car."
Why not?
You may be happy that they returned your car, but that's what they were supposed to do initially. So if someone enslaves you, and then they say, "You know what? You were enslaved for 400 years, but I know this is 2 years late. You guys have been enslaved for 402. Let me go ahead and say thank you for that." That's not how it works.
Why not? It was the white people who freed the blacks back then. The blacks weren't fighting to be free. No, and so when you guys celebrate so-called Juneteenth, why do you think the white people were doing it?
Because they enslaved us initially. Now, had someone else enslaved us and whites that came and said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to free you from, let's say, hypothetically, these Chinese people," then maybe you'd have an argument. But since they enslaved us initially, no, there's no thank you there. You don't.
Then what are you celebrating? What are you celebrating if you're not showing appreciation to the people who freed you? And did you know that it was the Democrats who didn't want you free?
Oh, I'm not a fan of the Democratic or Republican Party. So
did you know that?
I did know that. Did you know that?
And so initially, it was the blacks who sold the other blacks in Mommy Africa. They sold the blacks to the Arabs.
Only sometimes.
And then it was the Arabs who transferred. Hold on, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan.
Not correct.
Ryan, hold on. It was the Arabs who transferred the blacks across the world and sold them. Did you know that?
That's incorrect. No, you're wrong about that.
No. I'm 100% right about that.
No, I'm 100% correct that they captured the slave. What they did was
they didn't capture, they sold them.
They did do that, and also that both things happened.
Who captured? Right.
Whites and Arabs.
Right.
And Arabs captured the slave.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Who sold the blacks to the Arabs when they went to Africa?
The Arabs went and got them themselves.
Who sold them to the Arabs? Who sold them?
No one. The Arabs and whites.
Ryan, you're lying.
No, that's the truth.
Right, you're lying.
One more point. may I make one more point?
No, I'm going to put you on hold. You're on hold right now. I want you to clear up your lie. It was the blacks who sold other blacks to the Arabs, and the Arabs sold them around the world, and the Arabs are still enslaving the black. Mom, over in Africa, Mommy, Africa. And you people don't want the truth to get out because you want to make white people feel to blame for something they did not do. And in America, there were blacks who owned slaves as well. And so, blah, 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 as Joel would say. Ryan.
Yes.
So do you realize you're lying?
No, sir. May I
Why
add
would
one
you?
thing?
No, not yet. Not yet. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
Do you don't know that you're lying? You don't know that it was the blacks who sold other blacks to the Arabs?
I said both things happened. So blacks sold other blacks to Arabs. Arabs and whites captured and
no, whites did not capture. You've been watching too many black movies.
That absolutely also happened. Both things happened.
Yeah,
both are historically
right.
documented. It's 100% facts.
Right.
There's no arguing against it.
Right.
I did want to think.
I want to put you on hold again. Ryan, you've been watching too many black movies, buddy. Don't watch that junk. They're lying to you. They're brainwashing you. They're not going to tell you about the Arabs because they want you to hate the white man and destroy America. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you hear that?
I did hear what you said. Yes, it's incorrect, but I did hear it. Yes.
What's incorrect about that?
Both things happened. We're going in circles now. So I'm saying the same
both
thing. Both
things did not happen.
The same thing that you just said. So, but I think
right. Both things did not happen. All right.
Correct. Is it?
Ryan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Jesse,
What do you mean by Ryan like shiny shoes?
I'm sorry. I'm assuming you're talking to Nick or
yeah, I'm talking to Nick. Are you black,
yeah,
Ryan?
Yeah. I am, yes.
Well, no wonder.
may
I rest my case.
Am I free to make my one other point, Jesse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know that you have a lot of anger. It's obvious, but you have actually helped me. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God at all. I initially watched your show because you're reminiscent of a character in the show that I watched, Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, how about Uncle Tom?
That's not Uncle Tom as well, but Uncle.
How
Ruckus
about the N-word?
No, I'm not going to call you that.
Why not?
I'm not calling you to be disrespectful.
I like that word.
I believe thoroughly that you like that word and probably use it frequently. But
don't take it away from me.
I didn't call it to disrespect you, but one thing I did want to say, I'm not taking it from you. You can say it as much as you like. But what I wanted to say was, I can tell that you have a lot of anger towards women. I think probably a woman, broke your heart. I think you had a lot of trouble with your
mother. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't break your heart.
You have a lot of problems with women for that reason, and it's made you internalize a lot of things. But, I watched the show initially, just to laugh that you would be, very similar to this character that I watched the show. But I realized that even though I don't believe that you truly have forgiven, I think you, again, have a lot of anger for a lot of people, including not wanting to be yourself, not liking the color that you are, being very angry at women, both who have rejected you romantically, as well as your mother, who doesn't seem like you had a great relationship.
Right, you making up all this stuff like a woman. Do you realize that?
Just let me finish real quick.
No.
Like
do you realize you are making up all this stuff in your head like a woman?
Well, I've heard you say.
No. Ryan. Do you realize you're in your head making up a bunch of stuff like a woman?
Well, what about crying on the dock on the bay? You brought that up. You brought up that you had problems with your mother.
Do you realize you're making up stuff like a woman in your head? You're not speaking.
Did you not cry over a woman at the dock on the bay?
You're not speaking.
I thought you told us that.
Ryan. You're not answering my question.
You helped me because you did help me. I'm being very serious. You helped me with something, and I want.
Ryan.
Go ahead.
Ryan.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you realize all that stuff you said? You made it up in your head, and you sound like a woman.
Well, I didn't realize that, no, because you had told us
you need to forgive your mother. Right.
So yes.
Right. I'm going to put right on hold. Right. You're like chattering like a woman and just making up stuff along the way. And you think in your mind, you think it's true. And you need to forgive your mother so you could overcome that emotional mind and become logical again, man. You're making up stuff. And you go on and on about it as though it's true. All right.
Okay. So what I wanted to say was, through hearing you and I saw how damaged you were, it's like you haven't forgiven, and I saw what that done to a person. So I said, look, I realized that there were people in my life that I was angry at, and that will eat you up inside. I saw an 80-year-old unmarried man sitting there complaining about women day after day on television, and I found that really sad, and I could saw that.
Bye, Ryan. Bye. Ryan sounds like a heifer. Lord have mercy.